Okay. It looks like we're on. I don't have a. I need something to tie my hair back. It's. Let's see. I don't see the time. There's something wrong with the time setup. Actually, it looks like it's 3 minutes past 3 on Friday the 22nd. Um, and I'm taking a couple of telephone calls. Trying to see who's on. Okay. Okay, Roadrunner and Three C's and Temple Collection. And Hotel Job. Okay, Hotel Job is asking a question about um, Kuthumi and wants to know if Kuthumi is still. If Kuthumi is a Chohan of the Ray, of one of the Rays. No, not anymore. Kuthumi used to be the Chohan of. I should know this. I think it's the second Ray, the crown chakra that Lord Lanto now rules. But Kuthumi graduated or retired from Chohanship, as did Jesus. And I think Jesus retired, I think, in the 50s, moved from being the Chohan of the sixth ray, the solar plexus, which is now ruled by Lady Master Nada, to being in the office of the world teacher. So that's where Jesus is. And Kuthumi, I believe Kuthumi and Jesus are both in the office of the world teacher, and I believe that it's the two of them who share that. But so no, Kuthumi used to be the crown chakra. Lord Lanto, who's also embodied as Confucius, the chakra of illumination, but not anymore. So now he shares that office, although it is an ascended master, and clearly, I mean, Jesus is not there. Lunello is not there. Mark Prophet is not one of them. The Chohans are as follows: Second Ray, Lord Lanto. Let's see here. Fifth. I'm gonna say fourth. Second Ray. I think this is the fourth. That would be Serapis Bay. No, it is the fourth ray, right? The third eye is ruled by Serapis Bay. The angels associated with the third eye chakra, which is the what am I calling it? The fourth ray, which is a green energy, are Mary and Raphael. So healing and Mother Mary. When you, and Mother will say this as well, the illumination, you have illumination occurring on one level, but when you move down to the chakra, the third eye chakra, that's when you're really focused and concentrating on something. That's all the mercurial energy relating to Mercury, and the concentration when your brow is knitted, is how Mother put it. The concentration emanates from that point. Then moving down, El Moria, right? Thomas More, the throat chakra, which is the first ray, the blue ray of power. Your intent and power emanates and should funnel out of, merge from the third chakra down, which is the first ray. The heart is the third ray. That's ruled by Paul the Venetian. That's the pink flame. The secret chamber of the heart is the eighth ray. That's ruled by the Maha Chohan, and that's kind of a peachy gold color. And then moving down, there's the fifth chakra down is the sixth ray, Lady Master Nada, moving down is and that's the solar plexus. The seat of the soul is Saint Germain. That's a 6-petaled chakra. Violet, which is easy to remember because of violet flame, and Saint Germain being the head of I am activity, the initiator of the violet flame activity, Mother's Church, and also before Mother, the Ballards and Theosophists. And then the last chakra is the base of the spine chakra, and that is the, let's see here, what am I missing? I want to say 7th, but no, the base of the spine chakra, I'm getting this totally wrong. The base of the spine chakra is, I want to say Serapis Bey, but that can't be right, can it? If he's ruling. Hilarion is the, to the best of my knowledge, Hilarion is, because Hilarion is associated with discipline. And so Hilarion, and the base chakra is the purity chakra, a foundational chakra, and the mother chakra. So that's associated with discipline. I believe that's how that goes. And that's white. It's a 4-petaled chakra. Those are the Chohans, unless I got a couple of them mixed up. And I will check that. I will check on that for you as well. But no, Jesus retired. Jesus is now in the office of the world teacher, along with Cthulhu. So interestingly, I think Jesus is the Prince of Peace, which is why it used to be peace, or rather it is still the case that peace emanates from your solar plexus. And that's where your sense of peace derives. Jesus is the Prince of Peace, so it was appropriate that he was the ruler of that particular ray, the 6th ray. And that's a 10-petaled chakra. Let me see. I'll just make sure. Serapis Bey, the 4th ray. So no, see, I don't have it right. Okay. 5th eye, third eye is Hilarion. And they're calling it the second, well, it's the 2nd chakra down, but it is the 5th ray. Purple and gold is the 6th ray, actually the seat of the soul. It's not the base of the spine chakra, but that is the 7th ray. Saint Germain is on the 7th ray, and then you think after that it's the Maha Chohan, and the Maha Chohan is the secret chamber of the heart. And actually, they go from 1 to 2 when the energy circulates, and when you're working with energy, raising vibration, working with violet flame in yogic states of elevation, flowing different kinds of yogic energy. It doesn't start with the crown; it starts with the throat. So Almoria, and again, when you're invoking and when you're decreeing, that's the first place that you start, with the insistence upon power and the very strong acknowledgement to God and the angels. First chakra. So it goes 1, 3rd eye. No, it actually goes by ray. So it goes 1. Crown, heart. Let's see. Mother did it the other day, and I can't remember anymore. I wish I could. I'll try to point it out to you. 1, 2, crown. 3, heart. Base of the spine. 4, Serapis Bey, white. 4-petal. That's easy to remember because the 4th ray is actually a 4-petaled chakra. It's the one time that corresponds. Hilarion, 3rd eye, Nada, purple and gold, seat of the soul. But they're saying solar plexus here, ray, which this isn't even remotely correct. I must have taken this from the wrong. I must have been reading one one of the new places that doesn't have the right information. So we'll just do that. Fifth chakra is the solar plexus, going down, seat of the soul, right? So, base of the spine. In any event, that's the answer, but then karmic board, which we never talk about karmic board for whatever reason. Let's see if I can get some information on the karmic board, put it for you. And that was a question from Zui Proposal. They have karma listed here, but I don't know that I'm going to get anywhere with just doing a quick search for karmic board. You know, the prophets would have written about it in their books. Mark and Elizabeth prophet. Karmic board. Elizabeth Clear prophet. Well, I know that Lady Master Nada's on the karmic board, and probably Sanat Kumara, who is also known as the Ancient of Days. And the other day, someone asked me this question about Sanat Kumara. Okay, first of all, they're talking to me about the retreat over the Gobi Desert, which is Shambhala, and they're associating Sanat Kumara with Shambhala. Interestingly, also mentioning that before communism, they're associating it, and I don't know to the extent to which this is valid. I understand the point that they're making. The Brotherhood, meaning the Great White Brotherhood, once maintained earthly headquarters hidden in a remote valley near a sacred lake in old Tibet until relatively recently, when possibly due to the surmised threat of communist China, they relocated, allegedly through the subterranean tunnels, to their alternative location in Peru, where they are still reported as being based, circa 1985. These authors believe that Lord Sanat Kumara is the founder of the Great White Brotherhood, composed of masters of the ancient wisdom and volunteers from other worlds who have joined together to advance spiritual evolution on Earth. They have information in the same article on Omritas, Ashtar Galactic Command Flying Saucer Fleet. I don't know about that. We'd have to take a look because of some of the New Age churches are quite critical of flying saucers. You have to wonder if that emerges from an opposition to some of the stuff that was going on in the 40s and the 50s when people were first coming out and saying that they were being contacted. It might be that that's the case because there's a lot of charlatanry. It might also be that I know that the prophets have periodically articulated that there are black entities or malevolent entities that resemble in their description EBEs, extra biological entities. So I'm not sure. I don't personally believe that if EBEs are part of our matrix or are accessible to us to any degree in this realm, that they're necessarily malevolent. All of them certainly aren't, but certain satanic sorts of forms were associated with EBEs, at least for a period of time. Sanat Kumara in Hinduism and Jainism. Sanat Kumara appears as a rishi in the Hindu religious text, the Chandogya Upanishad, and he's also a deity in the Jain religion. A shrine to Sanat Kumar, which attracts and unites people of all religions and faiths, is situated in the town of Kataragama, Sri Lanka. In Sanskrit, Sanat Kumar is eternal youth, meaning from Sanat, eternal, and Kumara, a youth. The Kumar resides in the most sublime center of our planet, Shambhala, the Sahasrara. That can't be right? Sahasrara. I don't know. That's right. It doesn't sound like proper Vedic. I'll get that answer for you in a bit. Okay. But in Vajrayana Buddhism, the religion of Tibet, Shambhala is a Sanskrit, not Vedic, I meant before Sanskrit, is a Sanskrit term meaning place of peace, tranquility, happiness. So Shambhala actually emerges from Vajrayana Buddhism. Gautama Siddhartha Buddha, Sakyamuni Buddha, is said by Vajrayana Buddhists to have taught the Kalakara Tantra on request of King Sukandra of Shambhala. The teachings are also said to be preserved in Shambhala. The stanzas of Zion, from which Madame Blavatsky claimed to have gotten information in the secret doctrine, are believed by some scholars to have been a mistranslation of words Kalakara Tantra. It sounds a little bit like Hebrew. Shambhala is ruled over a line of kings of Shambhala known as Kulika or Kalki kings, a monarch who upholds the integrity of the Kalakara Tantra and the teachings of Vajrayana Buddhism. The king of Shambhala is often metaphorically referred to as the king of the world. Shambhala was thought by the Tibetans to be somewhere north of Lake Manasarovar and its adjacent Mount Kailasa, sacred mountain in Tibet, where it thought that all the dragon currents intersect. Then there's a segment on Sanat Kumara and Theosophy, but again, not one of the Ray rulers. But clearly is serving this function as basically the head of the Great White Brotherhood, working with etheric entities from other octaves. Masters of the ancient wisdom. According to the I Am activity, the Church Universal and Triumphant, and others, the ascended masters, the beings the original Theosophists called the masters of the ancient wisdom, such as Master Jesus, Saint Germain, Kuthumi, Gopal Das, and others, are working for the spiritual hierarchy of our planet under the leadership of Lord Sanat Kumara, Gautama Buddha, and Maitreya. Many Theosophists believe the Masters utilize the cosmic power of the seven rays to advance the plan of the Masters to encourage the continual advance of civilization on Earth toward higher levels of consciousness. One of the beliefs of adherents of these belief systems is that the Masters of Wisdom have united together in an organization called the Great White Brotherhood. Yes, we do have that. I have that book, and I can send it out to you. I will. I will. I will send that out to you. That's fine. Okay. An advanced being at the ninth level of initiation is how it was put, at least back during um, Helena Blavatsky's days. Ashtar Galactic Command Flying Saucer Fleet. Likely something not to be endorsed by the prophets. The Master Ashtar was first incorporated into the Ascended Master teachings by Joshua David Stone in the early 90s, based on his incorporation of the early 80s revelations of the medium Tuella into his own teachings. However, the Ashtar command is simply a modern concept of the Sumerian Babylonian goddess and deity Astarte. I think it's Astarte, right? Ishtar, Isis, and her entourage, whose assigned function is to protect and involving mankind from the satanic forces. Then I'm just reading Akashic records. I mean, okay, Lorene Altieri, also known as Karita to her followers, is an Ascended Master Teachings teacher, originally from Joliet, Illinois, who now resides in Sun Lakes, Arizona. She set up her website in 2001. According to Altieri, there are 4 masters originally from the spiritual hierarchy, cosmic beings said to be patrolling their Ashtar Galactic Command Flying Saucer Fleet, who are now permanently stationed on Shambhala. These are the masters Balerian, who is the proprietor of a flying saucer repair facility in Shambhala called God's Garage; Kumad, an expert linguist who helps the keeper of the scrolls decipher and interpret ancient manuscripts; Ashlam, a Tibetan master who resides at the Hall of Records and helps people decipher their past lives by assisting them in accessing the Akashic records; and Sutko, the space detective who helps the Master K-17 solve unusually difficult cases. Elements of the Ashtar Galactic Command Flying Saucer Fleet sometimes dock at Shambhala so the flying saucer crews can go on shore leave. So there's some objections in here to Sanat Kumara because Sanat Kumara is the eternal youth from the planet Venus. Venus is Lucifer, this Christian academic, disputably academic, I suppose, or potentially not academic, is trying to say that it's Luciferian to revere Sanat Kumara, which doesn't make sense because Venus is not Satan. And there's that article that Blavatsky wrote on that. It's just an attempt to dismantle the Ascended Master's teachings. So that's that for now, and let's see, I can take a look at something else here for you. The cat is back on. So, not sure. I mean, some of this is like, look at this, how painful that is. That's pretty bad. I like that one a little bit better. Some of these are hilarious. You can't even write on it. It's just like, oh, it's gonna stop. It's gonna stop. How do I just get back to a regular one? And I don't want any lightning around me either. But okay. So yeah, that's the situation. I don't see. There was another question up here, but I'm not seeing it. Temple. Oh, hotel job. Rainy day fund. Well, I've been going on for 26 minutes. I think that probably I'm going to take a pause and then we'll reconvene. I have an idea that there are going to be other questions later on and I'll be available to answer them. Okay? So, thank you, and just tune back in, and thanks for being here. Bye.